Hey everybody, today is Wednesday, July 24th, I think today it is. Yeah, I think that's the date. Yeah, July 24th, that's what we're calling it. Here I am on another lovely morning ride video as I go to work. So, what are we talking about today? Well, let's talk about our ebook that I'm actually waiting to release. We have done an ebook. Actually, when I say we, I mean Joshua Cole has written it. Joshua Yeardley has done the editing. I have done the layout, so I had the easy job again. And we are going to be releasing this sometime this week. I'm just still waiting for the artist to send us the final piece of artwork for the cover, which is the high-res version, which he asked for last night. I'm sure he's going to give it to me today. So, guesstimating Thursday morning-ish, Friday-ish, it should be up. The formats we have planned for it, it'll be available in PDF, Mobi, and EPUB. I've been working on the whole EPUB thing, which is actually kind of interesting. From a purely layout, graphic design position, it's very, very interesting how they developed that and how it's working, how it works very well with InDesign. There are some issues, of course, and it's kind of like layout, but not. But it's definitely something very, very interesting. I've been getting more and more into it, so I'm more and more finding it interesting. You know me. If you're interested in something like that, I would suggest check out lynda.com. They have a couple, well, more than just a couple. They have a lot of videos on EPUB and how you can do it through InDesign, specifically for CS6, which I found very, very helpful. So, just something you might want to think about. I've always been a big fan of Lynda anyway, lynda.com anyway. I think the educational stuff they give you is great. You can find it online, I'm sure, for free. But if you have the time, you have the money, you might want to check out lynda.com. There's a lot of great stuff in there. I've used it to learn Muse, some additional stuff on InDesign, some additional stuff on Illustrator. Like I said, just a great source. So that's coming out this week. We just released our Enemies of New Exit Cyrix book. That came out Monday, I believe it was. I believe it was Monday. And it's been doing very well. We've already gotten we got a review for it already, which was surprising. It was only out for a day and it got a review. So I was like, wow, that's fast. So I guess they liked it. We got a 4-star review on that. Jeff Lee did another great job on that, which I thought was perfect. One of the fun things we have, I don't know if I've announced this yet, but we've been working on it behind the scenes, but I don't think I've officially announced it. We're doing a series called Leader of the Pack. And basically what it is it's more of a generic, well, not more, it is a generic Pathfinder supplement for leaders and groups and things like that. So, for example, we're adding character levels to monsters that are already well known. So I believe the first one that we did was all humanoids, I think bugbears, goblins, orcs, things like that. We gave them leadership that you can easily just plop into your game. It's pretty simple. We're also going to be expanding out, of course, to include other kind of monsters, the more traditional things. This actually came from an idea that a friend of mine did years ago. I thought, oh, that's a great idea. I'd love to do that. No one ever got around to doing it, and he never got around to doing it. So I said, you know what, screw it, I'll do it. It's out there. Why don't I do it? So imagine, the one he did that's kind of sold me on it. He did a Blink Dog Alpha and gave it sorcerer stats on top of its regular stuff. And I was like, it's very, very cool. So that kind of gave us the gist to do this. So that came in. Mike Kimmel did that, I believe. Yeah, Mike Kimmel, I believe, did that. And we're actually getting that together. We're also putting a map with it. We actually got a new cartographer. This is his first one with us. We're going to be putting a color map. I use the word color map, not a huge color map, but a color map of a layer that you can use for any one of these leaders that would fall in. That's going to be in the book. Full color. It's a very nice piece. I'm very happy with it. I expect to see more work from our new cartographer because of this. So I was very happy, and I think you will be too. What other fun stuff? We could talk about the Kickstarter. Let's start with the free RPG Day Kickstarter. I'm still waiting on the shirts. I thought I'd be done with these shirts and bags by now, but apparently this is not the course. So I'm still waiting on the shirts. I'm still finding out exactly what's going on with that. And the totes. They're being done by the same person, but one way or another, we're going to get that thing resolved and fixed. So that's that. Obsidian Apocalypse, I believe everything is actually in. I have to start doing the layout on that this weekend most likely Sunday. I'm going to probably get through about 50% of the book just doing it. And yeah, it's ready. It's ready. We've sent out, it's funny, we've sent out the raw stuff to people, and people haven't responded back, which I thought was very interesting. We'd send out stuff, we're like, hey, it's out, let's hear some comments, and I heard crickets. So I was like, okay, does this mean the book is very bad or very good, or, so a little feedback. Feedback's always the best. When you're a publisher, we thrive on feedback. Well, feedback and reviews, those are the two biggest things, feedback and reviews. We find them to be very, very helpful. So if you've got something that you can help us with, go ahead. Tell us. Let us know. We want to know. We want to know from you so we can always make the product better. That's helpful for us. Just point blank. The last Kickstarter, Empire of Tears, I've been looking at some artists. I saw an artist just recently, yesterday, I sent an email to possibly see if they might be interested in working with us. I think, artistic-wise, they have a very cool style that I was like, oh, this is exactly what I'm looking for. And just gotta wait and see. Gotta wait and see. Also, jump back to Obsidian Apocalypse. The guys who are doing the cover for that, I sent them the requests. I sent them all the stuff. I'm hoping to see something from them probably next week. So maybe by the next time we do this, or something next week, we'll have a picture of the cover so you can kind of see where we're going with that. And what's going on at Paizo? Paizo.com. We talked. I made a kind of a question. I was kind of wondering people, and this is about this latest Kickstarter we're planning on doing. Should we offer the Kickstarter to retailers? And a lot of people were like, yeah, of course you'd offer to retailers. Why would I not want you to offer it to retailers? And then I presented the side that retailers have always presented to me. That's always been a problem, which has been the problem with Kickstarter is it takes and I'm going to use their language, they've told me, it takes the cream off the top. Basically, the people who are most likely to buy the product will give you money during the Kickstarter. And that makes logical sense, and that's pretty true. So if those people buy through the Kickstarter, who are the people going to buy when it comes to the store? And then other retailers have suggested, oh, why don't you send us out the stuff first, so we get the first crack at people, and then you can send this stuff out to the people who are giving you money. And I'm kind of against that, because it's like kind of penalizing the people who paid up front. It's like, hey, you paid up front, but you got to wait for your stuff longer, which I don't think that's a good plan either. But I do understand retailers' position on it, and I do understand that Kickstarter kind of does, for a lack of a better term, cut them out of it. So there's got to be a happy medium. And has anyone found it yet? I don't know. I know I haven't. I'm still looking, and I'm still thinking of ideas. So if I get lucky and I think of something great, I'll put it up and see what people think. But getting retailers involved I think is very, very important. Specifically, this is such a unique type of Kickstarter too. We're looking to do the first ever all-female adventure path. We're also looking to do basically, if not, the majority, if not all the artwork by women. And, I'm even trying to take myself out of the layout, so we'll even have someone who is a woman doing the layout. So this one might be an all-female, all-woman done project that, my name's on, but I didn't really do much, which, hey, that's not a bad thing, but it's just, it's one of those situations of, it's kind of cool. I think the idea is kind of cool. I think the premise is kind of cool. And we've had people comment saying, well, I don't see the big deal of it just being for women doing it. It's like, dude, really, come on. You don't see the big deal? Really? An all-women Kickstarter for Pathfinder? The first woman writer is just happening now, and it's issue 70-something? Come on. Really? You don't see? I should turn. I'm not going to turn. I'm going straight today. I'm changing up my route today to work. It just amazes me. So many people were surprised and shocked that I'd be interested in doing something like this. And I'm just like, why would I not? I like cool stuff. I think it's a cool aspect. I know, being a minority, that it's tough to not even say get noticed. That's not even the word. To get some recognition. I always go back to my favorite sign, and I always tell people, I'll know that fantasy is commonplace and totally acceptable when I see a black paladin on a unicorn or a Pegasus wearing plate mail armor, and no one even freaks out. No one makes a comment. it just amazes me that people are like that's an issue. It's okay if elves toss fireballs, but you put this dark skinned guy and it's, oh, wait a minute, that's not realistic. And you're like, what? And, I always say, gamers are, 99% the most open and honest and cool people you're going to deal with. But like with all things, it's that 1% that fucks it up. I mean, they just mess it up for the rest of us totally. They do. They mess it up. They do. So, I'm really talking to this whole conversation for that 1%. So, I think some other cool things I have planned for that are very cool. The add-ons, I'm still debating about the add-ons because I know I'd like to do a bestiary as part of an add-on. I think that's just, I want to do that. But I think I might want to do like some smaller, shorter page add-ons and then maybe just add to them. I mean, I kind of got inspired by what I saw from Wolfgang Barr's Kickstarter. He basically just kept adding people on, boom, we're going to do some more of this, we're going to do some more of this. And I thought about it, and it's like, I don't know. But I thought, I was like, why not? But this one being a little tougher, because I said, I'm trying to make this an all-woman, all-female done project. So it's like, okay, let's go to let's go on our little mental Rolodex of people that you know. And the first thing was like, okay, Owen Casey Stevens. Can't use Owen, he's a male. Okay, well, let's try Wolfgang Barr. Can't do Wolfgang, he's a guy. And they're like, oh. And then you start really thinking about how many women writers there are. And it goes from what you're thinking writers, yeah, big, huge pot. Women writers, ooh, it shrinks substantially. So it's like, okay. And, I have 4 of the most, probably I'd say the most prolific and well-known doing the Kickstarter. So for the threshold goals, I'm going to need, as influential, as important names, but it's tough to find them. Don't get me wrong. I want them. I want people to write me. I want specifically women to write me, who want to write, who may have written, may not have written, who are well-known or not well-known, to write me to tell me they want to write on this project. I will be more than happy to find a place for you. I want this to be an amazing piece with cool stuff, and I want to be very, 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 I'd say pro-girl, but that's not the right term. It's just pro-cool stuff. That's, I'm going to use the Wheaton motto, I'm not going to be a dick. I just want cool stuff. I just want it to be cool. If it's cool, great. Great. That's what I want. And I'd like it, personally, I'd like women to get some notice and recognition doing some really cool stuff. Some people are like, well, it's I don't see what the big deal is. I think you really have to really look at it as a whole. You want to see more people bring more cool stuff to the whole realm of RPGs. And the more women that get, the spotlight, they get to be seen, people get to notice. People are like, oh, I didn't know about so-and-so. She does great work. I got to read some more of her stuff. The more of that happens, the more you'll get different types of stories, different type of people involved, and it's just better for the whole health of the industry. That's the main goal. You want it to be better for everybody. At least I do. I do. I like it when it's better than for everybody. That's just me. All right. I got a minute left. Let me wrap this up really quickly. Once again, thank you for taking the time out and watching me. You could be doing something else, but I'm so glad you came by and watched. I want to also wish goodwill to Lee Hammock, who went in the hospital for an operation. I've known Lee for a couple of years, and Lee was kind enough to work with me. He's also doing the Pathfinder MMO. Wishing him quick and speedy recovery. I know he's got 2 lovely children that he wants to be hugging and playing and fooling around with, and I know how important that is. Trust me, as a father, So get well soon. Well, everybody's thinking of you. Puts in good vibes. All right, I'm done. I will talk to you all later.